Hey guys, it's M4J here and welcome back to M4J Transport here on Cities in Motion 2. I've got a lot to update you on. Let's start over here. So end of the last episode, we built all of this and I'm very happy to say it looks lovely. And it functions too. So basically between episodes I found out that if you edit a rule set that's already attributed to a game, so for example I have a rule set attributed to this save game called Majeffries 1. As long as you edit that rule set and save it under the same name, it will affect the game, which is a good thing. It might sound like a bad thing, but trust me, that's a good thing. So I went into the rule set editor between episodes and I changed it so that the depots would have a higher capacity, and I also tried to look at fiddling around with the vehicle condition. I don't think you can with the condition, but I upped the quality, which I think has actually affected the condition. What it means is I can actually have these three depots as the main depots for all of our bus lines. So they're randomly assigned. The first three, I think it is, this one, hang on, there we go, 1, 2, 7, 10 and 11. And then here is 3, 4, 8, 12, 13, and then here is 5, 6, 9, 14, 15. Don't forget 7, 8 and 9 are the hub linkers on the Northern Island. So we have still got traffic concerns, which I do aim to fix today by building a new set of roads. I did do some editing over here as well. So this is kind of now like a roundabout. And yeah, I suppose it functions like it. There are traffic lights on each corner, which does affect traffic flow a little bit. Plus there's a set of traffic lights here which also affects traffic flow a little bit. But the second half of today's episode, we're going to fix that. The first half of today's episode is going to revolve around trams. And you can see I've added some additional tram stops here. So we're actually going to go in and add some more tram lines today. The other thing I did off camera, because I've improved vehicle condition, or at least I think I have now gone in and made it so that trams loop again. So for example that's on 52% and it's going to loop again. Now U-Bus should not be running through here. Why is that? That's why. Can I... Oh, that's going to be really annoying if it does that. It's because it's got to come up and out here. What if I like put a waypoint here and then did this? See, it's supposed to automatically know where to put the waypoint and adjust accordingly, but it doesn't. I suppose actually instead of putting it there, I could be smarter and put it underground there, should we say. That still doesn't do it. So where is it currently? Is that the depot return? It is, isn't it? Oh, don't make me do this whole line again. Please don't make me do this whole line again. Alright, there is a way of fixing it. There is a way of fixing it. I'm going to leave you open like so, and then I'm going to go into this. I'm going to create a new route. We won't call it anything yet. You are going to copy, 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 and copy. That's the other thing. With the depots now holding more vehicles and more vehicles just being able to run in general, I have actually gone through again and made it so that vehicles are running more regularly again. Which I think is a good thing. Right, so what are you? There, there, here, here. I'm going to guess there, 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 then down to here. Now currently you come in through there, is that right? Yes. So you come in through there, along there, and then you come out via here, and then up to there. Cool. And then you go there, you go there, 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 and there. And then you run all the way back to your depot. So that's that. I'm going to delete this one now. And then you, I'm going to renumber you as 15. And you are route 115. And that's that. That's how you do that. Saves a lot of time and effort, doesn't it? Whilst we're talking about buses and stuff, I mean, there's a huge gridlock here as well, which I need to fix at some point. It's to do with traffic lights. It's always to do with bloody traffic lights. I mean, at least here it is moderately fixable. Do you know what? I'm going to save the game really quickly, and then I am going to fix this problem. Otherwise it's going to drive me up the wall. Like so many things in life. Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm going to address a little something that was brought to my attention in the last... not last episode, actually. It was the episode before. And it's to do with the bus stops. Now, I'm going to say, before I read out the comment and discuss it further, I am going to say that the whole point of bringing this series back was to kind of see if things were different. Kind of see if the negativity was going to die down. You know, if people... Not going to be nicer, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Just to see if the negativity around the channel is going to die down a little bit more. And to an extent it has. The response has been great. People have said really nice things, and I'm really grateful for that. But there are still a few murmurs of discontent, shall we say, amongst the ranks. And one of the subjects that has been brought up is to do with the bus stops. So the comment was from... he says, trying to find his phone. I'll put it on silent whilst I'm here as well. That'd be nice. So the comment was from BNSF and SP. And it says, if I may be honest for a moment, I have a hard time watching bus stops being placed seemingly at random and then seeing the twisted routing that follows. I like the series and I'm glad to see it back, but the buses in this map are traversing maze-like routes. Having them in a more linear fashion would make it easier for the drivers, passengers, management and viewers to remember, and if frequencies are maintained, should reduce vehicle requirements. That being said, your building style is what drew me to this series and indeed your channel, and these last few episodes have introduced a new spin and I am interested to see how it pans out. One other thing, if you want, you can have half-hourly evening services through say midnight, followed by hourly service until the new day's schedule takes full effect by utilising the custom tab of the timetable. That last thing was quite interesting actually, it's quite helpful as well, so you might see that taking effect in the future. But that first paragraph, it kind of struck a chord a little bit with me, and not in a good way. But basically, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and in the old days that's exactly how I built lines. So for example, I mean it's basically like how I've built my tram lines. They go follow main roads, you go up, you reach a turning point like this, and then you go back. And that's fine, except it's not very realistic. Not in the UK, and not in most cities in Europe that I've been to. Also, not in Australia, which is the case study that I used last episode, in fact, was talking about Australian, well, not Australian, but Perth, city of Perth, and their bus network and how it operates. The city of Perth has 3 cat routes that I mentioned last episode, the 3 free ones. There's the blue cat, the green cat, and the red cat. There might actually be more now. There might, yeah, I think there was a 4th one the last time I went, thinking about it. Let me look it up. But yeah, whilst I'm looking it up, hang on, I might have found what I was looking for. Because they have numbers, but they also have names. So that's what I'm trying to find right now. I managed to find a Wikipedia page for the bus port, which isn't actually helping me. Would you believe? Oh, that's why. This is new. Yeah, it opened in 26... Crikey, I need to go back to Perth. No wonder I couldn't find what I was looking for. There we go. So yeah, the cat bus system, I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm sure I'll find out for another episode, or someone else could look it up on my behalf if they really want to. The cat bus network does not follow linear routes. They go in circles around the city. Loops, if you will. So for example, if you got on at the railway station, it would do a loop of the northern part of the city. I think it's the blue cat that used to do that. It might now be the red cat. I'm sure it's changed. It would do a loop of the city and then it would return to the railway station. At no point would you run along a road that you'd already been on until you got in and out of the station, and maybe a couple of other bus stations along the way where it perhaps might loop on itself a little bit. Now I know, well, I'm guessing BNSF that you are from the US, or at least from North America, and I'm sure they do things differently there, but all the cities that I've been to in the world, London, Amsterdam, Newcastle, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, where else have I been? York, Canterbury, Rochester, that's in the UK, and then Paris, Amsterdam, Perth, all places like that, they actually do loops. They don't do linear services. So as I say, I get what you mean, but in the realms of realism, I would much prefer to build it the way that I have built it, and I hope that you guys will understand that. So criticising me for something like that is not something that I'm a big fan of. I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram and say that's it, the series is cancelled or anything like that, but do just think about it before you write a comment. I welcome all types of feedback, don't get me wrong, and if I've genuinely made a mistake, then feel free to say something, but it is always worth considering that just because things are done in a certain way where you're from doesn't mean it's done like that everywhere. Likewise, when I'm talking about something in the UK, I don't then assume that every country in the world... is this Arid? I think it's Arid. Yeah, when I'm talking about something in the UK, that doesn't necessarily mean that every country in the world does the same thing, because that's not the case. That's not how... You know, that's not how the world works. Everyone does different things in different places, depending on what's required. I might have to reload the game, because this is going to annoy the heck out of me. So that's one comment. And like I say, I mean, I'm not trying to make it personal or have a beef or anything like that. I'm really just, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. He's voiced his opinion. I'm now voicing my retort. If he has something else to say on the matter, so be it. I welcome it, in fact. I'm not going to tell people to not bother commenting on the videos, because the whole point of the series is to try and get more people to comment on videos. But yeah, just have a little think. Do some research as well. I always encourage people to do their own reading and see if they can find out new things. Where am I? Here. Alright, so that has now been deleted? No, it hasn't, has it? Ooh, that's... There it is. Delete. Still not gotten rid of that, though. Apparently it's gone, but I don't like it. Alright, that's one side. The reason I'm rebuilding this, by the way, is because I really wasn't happy with the way that buildings were just spawning. Or is it this side that's the problem side? I really wasn't happy with the way buildings were just spawning on the top of the tunnel like that. It's very unrealistic. Anyone who was watching my OpenTTD series before it was cancelled, you'll know that realism is something that I'm really pushing for at the moment, which is why the bus network has been built like it has been in this city. Not because it's a hot mess or anything like that, but because it's actually incredibly realistic. London especially is like this. I've not been on many buses in London, I grant you, but those that I have, they are... I mean, there's a system to it. It's not totally random or anything. The driver is aware of where he's going, but to the untrained eye, it does look a bit random. That's the way it goes. New routes are introduced and decommissioned all the time. New buses as well. There always seems to be new buses wherever I am. And actually, I mean, even my uni, there are some weird bus routes. Like, there's a bus that goes from outside the nightclub of my uni, and it just drives into the centre of London. I think it stops at like 2 places along the way. That's quite a random thing. Okay, I'm pretty close to London, but you'd think it would go to like a central bus hub near here. St Albans is a good example of that. There's some big bus stations there, or Stevenage even, and then from there you'd get a bus to London. So the fact that there are buses that just run to London, particularly as no one, whenever I see one drive past, no one is on it, so I don't know how they make money on it. I just don't know. Anyway, tram routes, that's what I was going to do first. So I'm going to introduce 2 new tram routes. I have already built the stops and the track. Eagle-eyed viewers will have already noticed that. Route 304, I think this is. And this one is going to start at this depot. It's going to come down to this stop here. It's then going to run south, not there, here, to a stop there. And as I'm doing this, I am just checking. Yeah, see, that is an issue. So there should be a tram. Stick it underground like so. So you go via this. There you go. And then, that's why. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I see what's happening. So yeah, from here, I do need to do that, which doesn't look particularly nice, but yeah, cool. And then you go there, and then this is the new route. This is actually quite a favourite route of mine. Just when I was building it, I thought this is going to look really cool when it's done. So that's going to go there like that, and then there's one here. Now you might notice this looks a little bit different to how it did before, and there's also some stops under there now. So basically I realised that if I built a tram line down here, it would make sense to have a connection with this tram line as well. That's something else that's new to this series, and something I didn't do in the past. In the past I only really had transfers at hubs, so lines would just spur off in lots of different directions and there'd very rarely be interchanges. Then towards the end of the original series, I started building lines like HubLink, which partly inspired starting to connect the dots a little bit more. But here I'm very keen to have individual transfer points, which is, again, realistic. If you go to London, for example, you've got stations like Canada Water, which only has one network rail, national rail, not network rail, one national rail line goes there and only one underground line goes there, and yet Canada Water is one of the busiest underground stations on the network. It links the Jubilee to the overground East London line. East London? South London, hang on. East London, I'm sure it's East London. This is what happens. I start questioning myself. Where are we? Yeah, East London line. What's the other one? I used to have a really interesting fact. It was to do with the Jubilee line. It might be Canada Water, actually, is the busiest underground station that only serves one underground line. I think that might be the case. Either that or Canary Wharf. It might be Canary Wharf. But it's definitely on the Jubilee line. Someone double check that for me. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, so after I read online that because I didn't know this actually, I looked it up afterwards because I was really annoyed trying to reroute some of the buses, and I was desperately looking to see if there was a way to just reroute it, and it says it doesn't work so well for buses themselves, but trolleys, trams, metro, anything where it has to follow a line or a track or a wire, if you add a new stop in, it automatically knows where to add the stop on the list. So I built this new station partially to test that theory out, and it works. Providing you've got a depot at the start and the end of the line, so the line is complete and therefore can run, I was able just to click these stops and it actually added them in. So I did have to rebuild this tunnel several times because the slope here, for example, was really sharp, and then there was really sharp bends underground, and then the slope on this side was pretty steep too. But overall, I got it to work and I'm really happy, and we now have this tram interchange, and I also really like this path sloping down because, again, realistic. I am in fact planning on building another tram station a bit like that on this side by moving this over another junction. So literally from here you'll go underground, there'll be a station probably in this direction, and then the track will curve under the water, round, and then back up to join up with that side over there. But that's probably going to be done off camera as well, because as I say, it takes me a while to build those sorts of things. But this tram line that I'm building, Route 304, is pretty much just a South Island kind of loop line. It does go through some pretty tight traffic areas. I can imagine it's going to take some of the traffic away from this line as well, which will be nice. And then here it connects with the buses, and then here it also connects with the buses, and here also it connects with the buses, and then there's also a stop there. And then we run back to the south via all these stops. And yeah, it's just a nice little South Island looping kind of connecting line. It doesn't connect the whole of the South Island. There will be other South Island routes. There will also be North Island routes that will start and end at Tram Square as well. And in fact, if you wait 5 minutes, you will see me build one. Right, so once we get to here, it's a case of there, and then back to your depot. And that should, yeah, do that. Cool. So you're now done. I will probably need to buy more vehicles for this depot. We have got quite a few. We got 40, and we need, what's that, 36, 53, I think. So I'm going to get like another 15 of these. I think it was the Louis Qatars actually I had running from here. I might get the smaller ones just for this. I'll buy 20 of them. There we go. Right, now we're going to do Route 305. Did I timetable 304? I did. Good. That timetable thing that you mentioned, BNSF, I might implement that again off camera. Just 'cause I think it might be a little bit easier to sort of go through the teething problems and everything without the world scrutinizing my every move. That's why I take exception to it, because I'm trying something new and I'm trying something different, and I get that it's not for everyone, but I don't appreciate unnecessary criticism when I'm trying something new. I think that's a little unjustified. That's why I kind of take exception to that comment. Normally I wouldn't mind, but it's kind of, it feels like I'm being told off for something that when I haven't actually done anything wrong. That's the thing. Alright, so this line does some weird stuff. And in fact, I might not have this line do it. I might have a different line do it. But yeah, I built a loop here where it would integrate. And I think what I will end up having this do, I'll have another line that might skip Tram Square entirely. It will just come through here, round here, also terminate over on these stops here, and then run back. This line, I did build it with that in mind. This line's just going to continue along. I feel like I should put some stops here because of that. But I did say I didn't want to build stops on slopes. I suppose there isn't a slope here, so I could do it. Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it. Again, it's not the end of the world. Do it like that. Alright, so you're going to come here. So that should be a connection now between these two lines still. It's a walking connection rather than just get off and on at the same stop, but it's better than nothing. And where it's the next one, I think. Yeah, here. I have a nice connection with the hub here too. And then if I keep going along, There's another loop here. This loop might end up being different. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. The reason it's a good idea is if I have other tram lines coming in from these avenues, they can just join the loop and go around the loop of stops. And I like making this the bigger vehicles because it is a slightly longer route, particularly as it covers the Northern Island as well. So there are now 2 tram lines that cover the North to South Island transfer. And I can see these getting busy, particularly this one because it does run along main roads here. And it does have several connections with the buses and the trolleys. So I can see lots of people using it. Why are you doing that? Come on, game. Why do you hate me? Alright, hang on. We're going again. Basically, it's knowing where to add waypoints. So I need one here. In fact, why did it do that? Oh, yeah, because you can't turn... Oh, yeah, because I did that so that there wouldn't be vehicles blocking each other's routes. The only one where you can do that is here. Yeah, okay. That's me. It's me being me, forgetting very important pieces of information. There you go. So now it loops and does what it's supposed to. And apologies, everyone, if you're getting the feeling of deja vu, but I'm very quickly going to map this out again. Right. So as I mentioned at the start of the episode, all buses and all trolleys will now come out of that set of depots. And I know there's going to be people in the comments going, oh, that's not wise because vehicle condition and all that kind of thing. Well, I'm actually going to fix that problem before it's even become a problem. Because there are occasional ones where vehicles are pretty worn out by the time they get to the first stop because they've been stuck in traffic. However, I also found out that vehicles degrade faster when they're overcrowded. So I'm going to reduce overcrowding maybe down to 0, in fact. So vehicles only run at their capacity and no more, and then maybe fiddle with the capacity settings again. And before anyone accuses me of cheating by doing that, again, it's not really, is it? Because all the time in the real world, vehicles are being modified to either seat more or less people. For example, the HSTs that are currently being transferred over to ScotRail, they're getting all new seating configurations put in, which will result in more seats being available. But they're also doing something which I can't believe they're having to advertise this, but because not many train companies actually do this, it is a thing. They are advertising that the seats will line up with the windows. And here's the kicker, and the reason why they're advertising this is because the new Class 800s, 801s and 802s, particularly the 800s that operate on GWR, the seats do not necessarily line up with the windows. And I think that is such a stupid thing that they've done. Really, really dumb. Really dumb. You know, the less said about it, the better, I suppose. But it's a really dumb thing for them to have done. Anyway, so the way I'm going to fix the problem is we have a freeway, and you can see the vehicles using the freeway. A lot of them are, in fact, well, mainly because vehicles like this are breaking down. The freeway comes down to here, and it just stops. Simple as that. It just stops. Not anymore. Not anymore. We are going to build a brand new freeway that's going to run underground, under all of this, and then it's probably going to come out from underground, cross over on a bridge here, go back underground with a set of junctions here, and then it's going to run underneath all of this part of the city, and then it's going to curve at some point here. It's going to curve under here, go under the river here, and then it will eventually link up with all the rest of the city there. The bit I'm going to build today, and I did say it was going to be a time lapse, I don't think it needs to be actually, because I've got quite a lot of money. If we run out of money, then I might just end the episode and finish it off camera. But considering we've got the money, I might as well have a crack. What I want to do... Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a pain. So basically, it's going to be 3 lanes. Running under the streets like this. And we're going to keep it sort of as straight as possible. Keeps telling me there's not enough room. That's basically the height changes you can see taking effect there. Right, so here it's going to come up like so, and it's going to run over. Yeah, this could be tricky. So it really, I mean, what I could do is have it go here, turn in like this, and then have it go from 3 above ground to 3 below ground here. So we might lose a few buildings still, but not as many. And then just have it run underground. The road is too long. Okie dokie. So we'll build it to there for now. And then the return road will do pretty much the same thing. Where were we? There, I think it was. Like that. Like this. Over to here. And then down and underground, and it will run a little bit closer here because, you know, they are still individually bored tunnels, but it might be a little bit more sensible to build them next to each other, because then you can have like evacuation tunnels built between them and stuff like that. I'm probably going into way too much detail for that, really, because I'm not going to build any exactly. Wow, that's too long to build. How did I build the first one then if this is too long? That's a bit of a mystery. Alright, so you're going to go... Come on, game. Play nicely. It's because of the hill. I know it is. It's got to be because of the hill. There's no way it'd be for any other reason. Why is it being funny? Alright, hang on. Oh, I can definitely feel the lag when I'm demolishing roads. When I was building those tramways, oh, the lag. It was real. It was definitely real. Oh, come on, you absolute. Thank you. Alright, there. There. Alright, hang on. Gonna put that to there for the time being. Build something coming off here. Do that. Demolish this temporarily. So I'm probably going to get moaning messages in a minute. Like so, and then there, and like that. And then, I mean, what does that look like? That looks pretty good actually. Because then I can go in and actually turn these from, come on, 3 lane to 2 lane. Like so. And then this actually needs to change as well to something simple as this. I know the trolleys are going to be complaining in a second, so like that, like that. Actually, you can come over one, so can you. In fact, this one can too. I don't know why I built that so far over. I think it was to do with the curve, but it really doesn't matter with the trolley, because the vehicle itself follows a different path to the wires at certain points. There we go. Alright, so it doesn't look like it does much at the moment, but trust me, it will do a lot more in a little bit. We are actually going to build... Also, that's the other thing. The junctions aren't necessarily going to be uniform. So, just because I'm building a junction here doesn't mean there will also be one on the other carriageway. Right, that's going to join up with that. It also just doesn't necessarily mean there'll be one in the like rejoining on this side either, because the rejoining one could actually be here, for example, and it'll just go straight underground and join up with the main road. And then this bit, once the traffic starts developing, that might be upgraded to actually become a... Why are you telling me you can't build in the water? There is no water. What? Is it because of this? I hate this game sometimes. I say it a lot, actually. I say it a lot. There's reasons I don't like this game a lot of the time, and this stupid can't build in water thing is one of the principal reasons why me and this game fall out. Because there is no bloody water here. It's close to water. Admittedly, it is close to water, but it is not water. When does the problem stop? So it's over here, really, is where it isn't a problem. That's a problem there too. Here? Right. So I have to rebuild all of this now. Because of that stupid can't build in water error. And because life hates me, yep, we're going to have to come all the way over here. I probably sound like I'm having a breakdown. I'm fine, really. I just get annoyed about the game. It does these weird things like that, where, I mean, there's no water. I don't know why I even have to say that out loud. It's obvious there's no water. Alright, under here, around here, up, like so, and then over to there, and then, yeah, can't build in water. What? What sod in water? Alright, hang on, where did we get to? There. I'm going to build that. And I think the problem... there's the problem. It's that bit. Alright, well that bit isn't actually important for the time being. I'm going to build it just so that it's there. So where was it? From here. So the problem actually stems from this. Is there water there now? There probably will be. I don't know where it's coming from though, because there is no... There's no lakes or anything that we've gone over, so I don't get it. I do not get it. Right, and then we'll come back to that. We will come back to that because over here, where was it? It was this bit here, was it not? Where's the other carriageway? There it is. So I think it was here. I'm going to build this coming up and along. If I do it like that, no? Maybe I won't build it there then. Maybe I'll build it under here. There we go, slightly better. Like so. And then I suppose here, not there, here. I can have a road going under. Like so. There's definitely... yeah, there's two here. That's fine. And then there's a set over here, which is fine. And again, I'll upgrade these 3 carriageways to 5-lane carriageways if necessary. I suppose the next one, it might involve tunnelling down a little bit further. Like under here. And then back up. Oh, what does that even look like? That's really steep. Maybe I'll just have it come out like this and over. Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. And then I can rebuild this road so that houses spring up again. Okay. And then... so, like, if that's that way, then... I mean, really, it should be from here as well. Like this, and then you join up like so. So that's that side, and then from here you will come like this, like this, like this. I think again I'll have to build another road out here just so that the second lane has a purpose. And then from here I'm going to have like this. And then you are not going to be 2-lane, you're going to be 3-lane. There we go. How does that look? Pretty good. I'd say pretty good. Alright, and then finally over here we're going to have another set of junctions. So you're going to break off. I think what you're actually going to do is come down and round. Really? It doesn't bend too sharply though. Not in my opinion. I think that's a perfectly good bend. I mean, that kind of works. Tell you what I'll do. I'll build that there, and then I'll have one come off here as well. And go under... hang on. The problem with these, you got to do it right. If you don't do it right, then don't do it at all. Which really means I built that in the wrong place. Get rid of that one as well. It better not say cannot build in water. I will lose my everything if it says that. Alright, good. It's learning. Right, so you... seriously? Seriously? Was it that one? No, it was that one, wasn't it? That's why. So you go there. Like that. And then off of here... it's going to be another road. It looks so ugly, that's the problem. But yeah, that's what I want it to do. It's that. Except that slope is way too steep. That's a good slope. Alright. And then from here, we're going to have a road that comes underneath. Seriously? So I can have one there, but not in this direction. That is so weird. Telling me I can't build in water again. That's probably why. I just don't like the shape of these roads. Got to make sure that this is the right height. There we go. So you're just going to go like that. Because actually getting onto the road isn't the problem. It's coming off it where the traffic comes from. That is so ugly. I might just... No, I can't build it off this junction. That's really frustrating. But it won't let me build off there. And also, I'm going to move this a little bit further back still. You're going to be that type. And... what is this thing talking about? Can't build... Are you serious? Is it over here again? It is, look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. I'm not trying to get it to build in water. How much money have I spent? Oh, luckily not too much. I'm getting really annoyed with this now though. As I'm sure you can tell. It's to fix the buses. That's why I'm doing it. If it wasn't for that, I'd just leave it off for another episode. But because it is actually quite important, I'm putting all my time and attention into it. More than it deserves. I'll tell you that much. So instead of going underground here, I'm actually going to have it continue elevated until the next road here, and then it's going to go down. Hopefully that stops with this stupid can't build in water nonsense. Alright, and then you're going to connect up to this like so, and then you split off in one direction and you split off in the other, and that should get some of our buses to come down this way now. Should. Well, I mean that's... I think there's a little bit of water lapping under there as well. It's a little bit annoying. And yeah, it's really annoying that I can't build off this junction. Especially as this one's just a little too close. So I might have to go up and over from here. Not enough space. So I essentially need to go up, over like this, and then... oh, it's still too low. Hello. Wasn't aware of that. Right, try that again. So that is the right height to go over that, and then here we go up by 1 again, and then that's the right height there. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll accept that. And then we'll have other intersections a little bit further on. The other thing I didn't do, which I probably should, is here, for example. I don't know whether I could get the curve that I actually want. Oh, that was me turning my ankle on a water bottle. I'm very clumsy, it turns out. Yeah, that's not really the curve I'm looking for. So it doesn't like coming off there because of that, but it doesn't mind coming off here, despite the fact it doesn't look very nice. I mean, I'll build it. It's not my finest moment, but I'll build it. And then it dives underground just after this anyway, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh, now I've wasted loads of money. I've just had a look at the old money chart there. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And then there will be a road that comes off here. That goes to this junction. And then under here, because it's underground, so you won't see it as much, which is nice. There'll also be one that curves round and does that. That shouldn't be too steep a slope. No, that's pretty good. This one's always good. I always get that one right. And I feel like from here I should have a slope as well. Maybe a little bit further over. Like here. Yeah. And going downhill here is fine because they do that for speed gaining purposes anyway. And then you join up under there. And then from there onwards it's probably going to be a 5-lane road anyway. And then from here downwards it's probably going to be a 5-lane road too. How are we doing for time? Nearly an hour. Alright, I'm not going to split this one up into pieces. Because I mean, I said I was going to do 10 as like a pilot and see how we go. And so far 4 of them have been one episode technically split into 2. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this. The jury's out still as to whether buses are going to use it. I really hope they do. In fact, yeah, there's a couple there using it. Awesome, so it is getting use. And there's one going on its way as well. So this side's not going to be as busy as the other side, and eventually, if you remember the original central city, this became like a flying junction with the main road continuing off in this direction. I'm actually going to do that. You can kind of see where the road is going to go, the main road, and then it's going to come round this way, over there, through here, and then round up here, and then down under the water, and then it's going to link back up, and then we're going to have a big ring road of freeway. As well as a ring road of not a ring road, but a ring metro at some point as well. But I don't know when that will be. Right, I think we can call this an episode. I say it's been a bit messy, and I do apologise for that. But the gains should outweigh the effort required to actually make it in the first place. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. And the jury's out to see how well these junctions are actually used. They've kind of been designed for traffic in both directions, so that's what I'm going to look out for. Wherever that bus went, I think it actually came off. Yeah, it came off again. So they're still not using it fully. Like, where are you actually trying to go right now? Oh, it has now changed it. Yeah, cool. You see it comes up here, and then it goes up to its first stop, which is this one, I think, or this one? Or that one. Might be that one, actually. Might be that one. And then going back, it does a very similar route as well. Okay, awesome. Right then, I'm going to save and quit and all that stuff here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to watch the tram for a bit. But I am going to end the episode here. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Again, about that comment, I mean, I'm probably reading too much into it, to be honest. It was a genuine piece of feedback. The bit at the bottom I'm definitely going to take forward and use for certain lines. The bit at the top though, I mean, it's a misunderstanding. It's a cultural thing. So hopefully I've explained it in a way now that you guys get my thinking. And actually that's what I want to encourage. If there's anything that I've done in this series so far that you guys don't fully understand, do feel free to ask about it. Don't let that put you off. And I apologise to BNSF as well, because I feel like it is an overreaction on my part. I need to upgrade these. I need to demolish these actually, because eventually the trolleys are all going to be based down in that, oops, eastern location as well. That was a dumb thing to do. There we go. And then hopefully the freeway has fixed the bus breaking down problem, at least for certain routes, not all of them. But yeah, thank you very much guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.